Welcome to Entrepreneur S.O.S. with your hosts Monique Mull and Sandy Calling. We help business owners navigate the often complex world of entrepreneurship. Each week, we share expert advice or real-life experiences from successful entrepreneurs who have faced and overcome the challenges of building a business. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take your business to the next level, this podcast is designed to help you. So join us each week and let's grow your business together. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us reach more entrepreneurs just like you. And today we are talking with Bek, who is an audio engineer and a podcast editor. She has worked for several groups of people, from fledgling podcasters to academic departments. She's learned audio from some of the radio heroes, including the Peabody award-winning NPR show and the podcast On Being with Krista Tippet and transform.org. She's also a senior trainer for the Hindenburg. And today, she is going to help you cut through the BS of how to start a podcast from an expert's point of view. And let me tell you, there's a lot of BS out there floating around. So welcome back. We are so honored to have someone of your expertise on our show to really share the goods on podcasting and what it looks like to start a podcast.
Welcome from me back too. And I wanted to thank you because I know I'm going to learn a lot as well. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So let's just jump in and start with, there are so many influencers out there bringing how to start a podcast, when really, I think what they're really doing is just telling people lies that they feel like they need to market this and buy this fancy equipment and do all these things. And for a lot of people, I think it's overwhelming.
Yes, I would agree. The biggest things that I've learned in teaching on social media specifically is that people are so overwhelmed and they don't know who to believe and where to start.
When Sandy and I started, we were a little bit techie, so had a little bit of an advantage over other people. Like, we understood some things about computers and audio and editing, and there's just a lot of tools out there. What are some best practices when an entrepreneur is starting a podcast? Where would you start someone from stage zero?
Okay. The first thing you're going to need is a microphone. And just off the bat, I'm going to tell you, don't get a Blue Yeti. If you have one, sell it.
That is the influencer microphone. I am going to say that out loud. It is totally.
It is. I'm going to be honest. Audio engineers are just dicks about that microphone. Like, they really are. They will judge you and not take you seriously. I understand that for whatever reason, that microphone has become hugely popular. In fact, yesterday I went to Amazon and I put in podcast mic just to see. And sure enough, it's like Amazon bestseller, 4 stars. One of the things that gives me the sweats as an audio engineer is when somebody says to me, well, I have a microphone. And I'm like, no. And they're like, I got it on Amazon. It has 4 stars. No, let's time out. Let's go back. You, first of all, just really quickly, if you have a Blue Yeti, it's not your fault. Like, you didn't know, right? I don't want to shit on anybody. Like, I'm here to teach and be gentle about that. So I'm not one of those audio engineers that's a dick about it. I understand there's so much misinformation. So if you have it, maybe learn how to use it, watch videos. It's a complicated microphone. Also, it's a condenser microphone, which you don't want to use if you're a podcaster or live streamer. I've got videos on that if you want to understand more about that, but maybe try to sell it. Same thing with those blue snowball microphones. So the first thing you're going to need is a microphone. Get a dynamic microphone, and that all 3 of us are using dynamic microphones. Now, Sandy and Monique are using the microphone that I recommend for an excellent budget microphone. Engineers love this microphone. It is $50 for the silver version, $80 for the sexy black version. It's up to you. They sound great. I have been preaching about this microphone for a long time. It's great. More people are learning about that. It's an option. So when people say to me, it's expensive to get good audio, I say absolutely not. $50 microphone.
Exactly.
So, and this is USB and or XLR. So that just means you can plug it directly into your computer if you don't want to have an interface. And an interface is just people are asking me like, what's an interface? An interface is something like this, which is what you plug your microphone into, and then you plug this into your computer to have a lot more flexibility, a lot more options. But you don't need that if you don't want it, right? The cool thing about this microphone and another USB/XLR microphone that I recommend is, so if you do grow and you do stick with this and you want to get an interface someday, you can do that. So I've got mic recommendations on my website for $50 through the SM7B, which is that microphone that everybody on the planet uses. Think about every single YouTuber that's got that black microphone, that's on there too. So quality microphone is number one. And number two is mic technique. Now, a huge question that I get, a regular question I get, I will have people get me on one-on-one and be like, basically the whole reason why they hire me is because they've got a great microphone and they still don't sound great. So here is what they're typically doing. They've got a microphone like mine, and then they're recording and they're back here. And like, you can still hear, right? But then only thing I'll do is I'll say, can you move closer to your microphone? And then all of a sudden they sound like this. So we're on video. So I'm not going to sit and eat my microphone like some people do, especially like the broadcasters will want their voice to sound deep and warm and sexy, right?
Hello.
But when I record by myself, I absolutely am like up like this. First thing, if you don't have a well-treated room, really, who does? Get closer to your microphone. The general rule is about a fist away.
Can I ask a question on that?
Absolutely.
So around the well-treated room.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us are doing this just in our like spare bedroom or our office. Is there anything that you can suggest that will help with noise condension? Like, I know you have those pads up in the background. If you're watching us on YouTube, she has some sound pads. We're not all going to have that. So is there certain things we can put in the room or do to help with that echo or sound?
Yes, and great question. You don't have to have a perfectly treated room. This is why we use dynamic microphones versus condensers, because basically what's happening here with my microphone is it's picking up whatever I point it at. So like when I type, when I tap on my desk, you're not going to hear that as much because it's focused where I point it. Now with the Blue Yeti, it's picking up everything, right? It's picking up your dog snoring. It's picking up your window noise. It's picking up all your reflections from all of your monitors, your flat desk. Okay. Dynamic microphone will help with so much of that. The second thing you can do is get a rug or carpet, or that's huge. Put a bookshelf in the room that you're in. Anything that will stop. There you go. See? Anything that will prevent all of the reflections. And that just means you're already going to get them from your monitors, from your flat desk. Now, when I'm recording by myself, like for just like voice stuff, not only do I get closer to the mic, I will throw a hoodie down on my desk just because it will get rid of that reflection. So think about if you're in a bathroom. We all know how that sounds, like loud, or a gym. That happens on a much smaller scale in a lot of rooms. So the first thing I would recommend, like rug, carpet, bookshelves, anything to absorb the sound.
I once saw a video of Alex Hormozy recording his book, and you know what he was doing? He had pillows on each side of his face and his microphone in front of him, and then something on top. And he was in this like little man cave. And I'm like, that's brilliant, because I just needed the sound to be reflected and just directed to my voice. He didn't go into a fancy studio. Yeah. If that guy can do it with his computer and a couple of pillows for his book, this is like let's not overcomplicate it.
Yes. And on that note, a lot of people, it's not really as a thing like it used to be, but people used to record in their closets. Like,
I was just going to say, I read that somewhere that they went in the closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the clothes.
Now, so, yeah. Small room with a door, lots of clothes. And then people will record on the ground and then bring in like a little light. You don't have to do that because listen, we're all on video too, right? Okay. So now where am I? Mic technique. All right. Room tone. That was a great question. Thank you for asking that. Now, mic technique is just as important as the mic you choose. So not only getting closer, but this is so big. I want people to try to remember this too. I see people who are really in the business who forget this. So it's a common thing that people forget. Now, plosives are those pea-popping sounds, okay? So right now, my mic, for those of you that can't see, it's pointed at the corner of my mouth. This is called off axis. I'm doing this because when I say, please bring pizza pronto, it sounds fine. If now I'm going to move the microphone in front of my mouth called on axis, and I'm going to say the same sentence, please bring pizza pronto. And you can hear the difference. Please bring pizza pronto. Please bring pizza pronto. A, it just sounds less professional when you have those P-pops. B, it's fatiguing to the ear. Whether or not the listener understands that or is even consciously aware of it, you just want to have the air move past the microphone like it's doing now. That's why you point it at the corner of your mouth. That will also help with sibilance, which is those harsh S's you hear, like that sort of helps to tamp that down as well. So